So good morning, good evening, everybody, no matter where you are around the world. And we have got US distributors on the call, and we have people all over Australia that have joined us this morning. So welcome. This is our Saturday morning Noni My New Age call. This morning we have very special guest Shon Whitney from Utah on the call, like president of the lead region. So he's in charge of Australia, Latin America, Europe, Africa, etc. So Shon, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us this morning. Very much appreciated. It's very important to us to share the vision of this company. Now that Morinda has merged with NewAge, we need to paint a picture of where this company is going and how big this opportunity is. First of all, Shon, how long have you been with Morinda, Noni My NewAge?
Well, I've known of Morinda since 1995, to be honest with you, before it even started in 1996. I once went out to dinner with Kelly Olson, and one of the original founders, and he told me he was looking at joining this crazy company, and I asked him, what's the name of the product? And he said, Noni, and I literally laughed out loud. I thought that was the funniest name I'd ever heard for a product, and I said, you'll never sell anything with that name. Well, I was obviously wrong. And but I actually joined the company in early 1998. Kelly actually started the company in July 1996. And each month he would send me, I had moved to Boston at the time. I was kind of in the tech industry, and he had sent me every month he would send an email, hey, we're up to 200,000 a month. We're over $1 million a month. And it kept building and building and building. And finally he called and he said, hey, we're just growing so fast. Would you like to get involved and become our first general manager over Taiwan? Because I speak Chinese as well. And so I agreed. And so I joined the company in about April of 1998. And then have been involved and one of the shareholders from that time forward.
That's fantastic. So you've been with the company a little bit longer than me. I joined in 1998 as well. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what is your role as the president of the lead region?
My job is obviously I'm over all sales, operations, and activities for actually our region, what we now call the lead region, which stands for Latin America, Europe, Africa, Australia, and delivery or access. We cover about 50% of the world's population, including Russia, including Norway, Sweden. I notice they're missing on your map, but that's okay. Europe, Africa, Middle East, and new emerging markets. And so we're also in charge of opening up some exciting new markets, which we have 4 or 5 that we're working on right now.
And we'll ask you about those new markets soon.
Perfect.
So how many countries are you responsible for now? What's the total? Have you added them all up, Shon?
Yeah, I think it's about 44 countries and about 24 languages that we deal with. So
wow, that's huge.
Pretty diverse.
And how many languages do you speak? You told me to speak Chinese. Do you speak any other languages?
I speak English, Mandarin Chinese, and a tiny, tiny bit of Spanish. But that's about it. And Australian. I speak a little bit of Australian.
Good on you, mate. So why, in your opinion, is the NewAge Morinda merger so significant?
Well, I think it's very dramatic, a very dramatic shift. Obviously, for about 23 years, our company was a private company owned by several founders, which was fantastic, and a great family culture, and an amazing ability for us to really focus on one product and one dynamic. And but in December 2018, we merged with NewAge. We actually did what we call a reverse triangular merger, which means a smaller company bought a bigger company, but in essence, we bought them, but they kind of technically bought us. But they were a public company, traded on the NASDAQ under NBEV. And what that gives us, what people don't really realize, is access to enormous amounts of capital. Just to give you an idea, in the first 23 years, we completely funded our own expansion, our own operations. And so cash was always a little tight. We never missed a commission payment. We kept growing like crazy, but we always funded the cash by ourselves. So massive investment in various key sectors that we needed to get involved in wasn't really possible. So we ended up prioritizing what our investment went to, whether that was China or Japan or the US and so a lot of the other markets didn't get a lot of investment that obviously they desperately need. Every market kind of needs the exact same level of investment. And so by becoming a public company and joining NewAge, it gave us access to a lot of money. So to give you an idea, we used to run about a $10 million surplus. We had about $10 million on cash on hand at all times. Well, when we merged with NewAge, that's the first thing Brent did. He said, we've got to build a massive war chest of cash so that we can expand very quickly. And why do we want to expand? Because we need to grow. One thing you have to understand about public companies anywhere in the world, let alone the US, is there's enormous pressure to grow. You have to grow or die. And so he immediately went out and raised about another $100 million in cash and put it in our war chest. And so now we can take that money, and if we need more money to invest in things that we think are really good opportunities for the future, say, for example, buying new companies or, building new products, doing innovation and research, expansion to new markets, expansion of existing markets, all of those things lead to growth. And if we need to do that, we can do that. And through the public vehicle, we can raise money very easily. So it's not like you're saying there's unlimited money, but there's a lot more access to money and access to buying or purchasing new opportunities that can incent and augment our offering worldwide. And so it's a very, very big change. It comes with more pressure, but it comes with much, much more opportunity than we could have ever mustered in the past.
I'm very, very excited with this merger, that's for sure. And that's one of the reasons that I'm really engaged right now. Yeah. So in your opinion, what makes this company so unique and so special?
Well, from the beginning, obviously you kind of had the Morinda culture, which was all about, trying to do something good in the world, trying to do something healthy, something pure, helping people to feel better and be happier. And that same culture, but in a different way, came from NewAge, in the sense their goal is to really elevate people's lifestyle through healthy products. And so these two cultures together, I think, marry very, very well. As far as our goal is to help people around the world to live a healthy life, and also to create a massive opportunity so that people can make money and live an overall rounded life. A life of obviously people are not happy if they're not in a financially or an economic good situation, and they can't really help others unless they put themselves in that situation. So our goal is to help people to grow their incomes, to build a very successful business, and all at the same time helping all those around them to live better lives, healthier lives, longer lives, and obviously to help various causes that we have. We have two causes. The big one is a water cause, where we help people to get clean drinking water around the world. And then the other is the people of Tahiti. We care about and love the people of Tahiti and want to make sure that this is benefiting them in a very, very big way.
Yeah, I've watched a video of Brent talking about these wells that they've been putting in third world countries, and they're solar powered, and they supply, water, clean drinking water for thousands and thousands of people. A really good cause. Instead of giving money away to different organizations, they actually use that money and put that into wells, which is very, very important. So what has the growth been like in 2020 during this so-called pandemic?
Well, it's really fascinating because, I have a lot of friends that work for various hospitality industries or travel industries or things, and obviously they've just been destroyed with this whole pandemic. Large groups don't meet, people don't fly, they don't think. But we've been really, really blessed at NewAge because Tahitian Noni juice specifically has been leading the charge, because for years now, Tahitian Noni juice has been proven both in vivo and in viva studies, both in animals and in human clinical trials, to boost your immune system. And so that message has gotten out in a big way globally. And to be honest with you, we've had our first quarter through March was one of the best quarters we've had in many years. And so remarkably, the pandemic, although it's shutting down countries across the world, people are just clamoring for Tahitian Noni juice because of the immune boost benefits. And so we've done several, we did one with a scientific forum with Brett West, and he went through all the studies that have been published. And these studies were published years and years ago, and it's always been a big key to Tahitian Noni juice, is that by drinking that, you boost your immune system as much as 30% over not drinking it. And that's been proven in human clinical trials. And so as that word's gotten out around the world, there's been almost, I don't want to say a panic, but an excitement about getting a hold of Tahitian Noni juice. So our sales have actually surged in this time. I also think people are starting to realize, I mean, in the US, we just reported 30 million people are unemployed right now. 30 million, that's the most, I think, but that basically takes us back to 2008. So all jobs that have been created from 2008 to 2020 have been lost with the pandemic. And so I think people are starting to realize I need to have alternative sources of income that I control, not that somebody else controls. And that combined with the amazing health benefits of Noni has been just a phenomenal boost for the company. I tell you, in Europe, I work very closely with the European markets. Germany's gone crazy. Eastern Europe has gone crazy. The Nordics have gone crazy. And it's a lot of both, people are working their businesses more, and the immunity angle of Tahitian Noni juice is really starting to get out there into the field. And so it's been very, very, I hate to say it's been positive, but it's been positive for sales of our products and for our model.
Yeah, I believe Australia had the same problem, the increase of sales. We actually run out of Noni juice for a very short period, and we're waiting for that stock to come in, which is in now, of course. But unexpected growth in Australia as well in the last couple of months because of this.
Yeah, it's been difficult because we've been stretching our operations group worldwide, just because of a surge in activity and a surge in sales. So it's been very, very positive for.
Yeah. So what can we expect in 2020 and into the future regarding the opportunities and the product because of this merger? Obviously, we've got more resources now, more money to fund into new projects.
More resources, more opportunity. Just to give you an idea, Brent's goal, and he said this day one when I first met him in December of 2018, is he has one goal, and that's to grow this company to be $1 billion company. He wants to be a dominant player in the direct-to-consumer, what we call the direct-to-consumer market. And he's intent on doing that. We were actually the 5th purchase for NewAge in 3 years. And then we've since purchased another company called Brands Within Reach. And I think that's going to continue. His goal is to continue to grow the company organically, to invest organically. We've got a lot of really exciting products coming out this year that you'll learn a lot more about coming up in, I think, September. And a lot Noni based, but also expanding out beyond that. And then and into 2021. And then there's a possibility that we may try and bring in other companies as well and have the ability to use their products for us to expand our business. So, he wants to grow organically, but also if we, if necessary, buy strength where we're weak, in markets where we're not large and we don't do well, we may be able to bring in companies to help us be strong in those markets. And so it's literally like there's the whole thing is dripping with opportunity everywhere you look. It's just a matter of people, bending down and picking it up and running after it and getting involved, because this is just the beginning. Right now we'll do about almost $300 million this year. But I think, next year we could double that, and the year after that we could double that. And some of that will be organic and investment. and some of that might be acquisition. But all of that will be benefits to our IPCs, that they will have more products, more opportunities, more investment, all those kinds of things. So it's actually just a spectacular time to really get involved.
Beautiful. Can you briefly tell us about these couple of new products you just launched in the marketplace? I believe they've had huge impact. The new shape and the Noni plus CBD, it just launched in Japan, I believe.
Yeah.
And you're struggling to keep up with supply of these particular products.
Yeah, so Shape is launching worldwide. Our biggest problem with Shape, it's based on intermittent fasting. Obviously, the idea right now, it's kind of a 5-2 model where you pick 2 days a week and you fast on those days. And during those days, you just drink Shape a couple times a day to keep the hunger away. And it gives you lots of benefits and helps you to lose weight, helps you to curb your appetite. It's all based on the intermittent fasting model. And then the other 5 days you eat normally. Just by doing that, we find that people lose about 3 pounds per week, almost every single time, all the testimonies we have. So, upwards of 10 to 12 pounds per month, just by doing that without any changes else in your lifestyle, just the intermittent fasting. And if you look, right now, intermittent fasting is really taking like Hollywood and these kind of things by storm. This is what celebrities do. There's 2 models. There's a 5-2 where you eat normally for 5 days, and then 2 days of the week you fast that day and use Shape product to help you get through it. And then the other one is 16-8, where you eat 8 hours a day and you fast 16 hours a day. And people use the Shape product in that one as they break their fast or in between meals and that kind of thing to help them, maintain that cycle.
And the important thing with that, Shon, is it's not just losing weight. You're actually using body fat, not losing just muscle. It's important that when people lose weight, they don't, burn up their muscle as well. So it's focused on losing the fat.
We have a great spokesperson, Cynthia Thoreau, that basically is somebody that really guides us on this. And she says, really, your body is in one of 2 states. It's in a fasting state or a feeding state. And part of the problem is that in most Western diets, we're always in a feeding state. We eat a lot of little meals. We eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We snack in between. We snack at night. And so our body never rests. And so when you have that over insulin production, it doesn't know what to do with it. And so it turns it into fat and stores it. And intermittent fasting is a very simple, long-term way to do this, like you say, to lose weight and to lose fat, which is by far the most important thing. That product has just been exploding around the world. We started out in Japan. Our initial forecast for our first month was about 10,000 10-packs. They jacked that up to 36,000 10-packs because the Japanese were going crazy after the product. Europe, our initial plan was about 2,000. We upped that to about 16,000, and we still can't keep it on the shelves. So it's a very, very popular product. The biggest problem we have is getting enough supply. We're running another big run at the end of May, and we'll push that around the world. But very, very cool product. And then the other one, the CBD product, is really interesting because one of our big pushes is to be the dominant player in CBD and specifically Noni plus CBD. And the reason I say Noni plus CBD, what people don't understand is that Noni, years ago, we published some studies on Noni and the endocannabinoid system and how it affects that system in the body. And that's what makes you relieve pain and do all these other cool things. And that's what the CBD does too. That's how it attacks you. That's how it makes you feel better, less pain, calmer. All these things that CBD does is it works with the endocannabinoid system inside your body. So when you put Noni and CBD together, you're literally creating the most powerful endocannabinoid system in the world. I mean, there is no supplement out there even close. CBD is great on its own. Noni's great on its own, but combined, it's almost like the super endocannabinoid product. So it's been absolutely magical. We just launched an ingestible shot called Noni plus CBD in Japan. Wild runaway success. We sold out in about 2 hours. we've obviously are building more, and so it's just a fabulous product, and it's the first of its kind in the world to combine Noni juice with a CBD oil together. That's an ingestible oil, what's that?
And the CBD oil itself, the quality of the full spectrum oil is one of the best in the world, I've been told.
It really is the gold standard. I know some people say that, but we specifically went to great lengths to produce the very, very, very best CBD. And part of the reason we have to do that is to import it into some other countries that are really strict on CBD. You have to know actually back to the actual farm that picked the CBD, how it was processed. We had to provide pictures, like I'm talking over 60 different pictures of how it was harvested, how it was processed, why it's good, why it does what it says. And so nobody in the world has done what we have done in producing that oil.
So very similar to the Noni, where you have got the whole process from the pickers picking the Noni right up to the bottling. Is similar sort of thing with the CBD quality as well.
Exactly. And our goal is to take that CBD ingestible, the Noni plus CBD, around the world as soon as governments will allow. Unfortunately, right now, that's only Japan's government allows it to do it in what they call an isolate form. You have to do it in a very pure form. But as that opens up, we'll do more of that. But we also are working on a new Noni plus CBD topical, which uses the Noni leaf and the CBD together for a topical application, which is great for the skin, helps reduce pain and all kinds of things. It's amazing. It's called Plantana, that will be coming out in Q4 this year. And that'll be, we're going to try and get that obviously all over the world. And a lot of places allow topical versions, but they don't allow ingestibles yet.
So we shouldn't have a problem having that stocked in Australia then, Shon?
Yes, Australia's on the map. Yes, for sure.
Beautiful. Okay. We mentioned it's a truly global company, 60 plus countries now. What are some of the new markets opening up?
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. Back years ago, we were in Brazil. Brazil was one of our top markets at the time. They did about $50 million a year in Brazil. And for a lot of reasons, government corruption and things like that, we ended up having to walk away from that. But under NewAge, under the new company, we've decided to relaunch that country. And so we just started signups in Brazil, and we had, I'd say, about 130 top leaders already sign up. They're being strategically placed. And then we're opening up for wide signups starting in May. And then we plan to launch in around June 6th. We should be launching in Brazil. Now, Brazil is very different in the sense that it will not be Noni based. It's a totally different program and product mix, similar, but not based on Noni because of some of the regulations there in Brazil. But we are launching that market coming up very shortly. We're working on Turkey, in Europe, and that's looking like towards the end of the year we'll be opening Turkey, which is actually a pretty robust market. We have our sights set on India and opening India in the next few years. That may take a little longer. In opening the Philippines, which is pretty close to Australia, and so we'll be working on that market. And then we're looking at opening up more of the Middle East as well. And then the other one is Africa. We've kind of tinkered with Africa for many years in Nigeria and South Africa. We've hired an amazing gentleman called Craig de Buren, and he's actually South African. And he was a big wig in Amway for many years, and dealt with them and worked with them and built just an amazing business there. And now he is spearheading our operation as the president of Africa. And we have got a very aggressive plan for later this year to open South Africa, then the sub-Saharan region, and Nigeria, Ghana. There's just a lot. Africa has 1.2 billion people in it, and it's the fastest growing direct sales market in the world. And so it's a really cool opportunity. So yeah, we're opening all over the world: Brazil, Africa, eventually the Philippines, eventually India, some smaller markets like Bulgaria. And so we're expanding all over the place where there's opportunity. distributors tend to take us where they have contacts, and so we love to chase after it and follow it. And so there's lots of opportunity, you know, not just in Australia, but you probably know people from around the world. And that's the beauty of our seamless plan, is that you can sponsor and be paid on volume all over the world.
I am very interested in India and Philippines particularly, because I've got a lot of contacts in Australia. So I need to talk to you about those particular markets. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely moving that way. So it's gonna be good.
What about tools, Shon? It's very important that distributors have tools to use to market. Some of the videos that are coming out now are very cool. Loving them. But going forward, is the company focused on giving the distributors the tools they need to build a big business?
Yes, actually, we're right in the process right now. We've hired a new CMO, Julie, and she's fantastic. Came from Rodan and Fields, if you know them, and also other, you know, top consumer products companies. And so she's really revamping all of the tools, and so from, you're going to see in the next couple of weeks, we're launching a brand new website worldwide. If you go on to the US Morinda website, the NewAge Morinda website, you'll see kind of the style and format, and that's being rolled out in the next, I think, in the next 2 weeks worldwide, including Australia. So you should.
I think Australia got ours yesterday.
Oh, you already got it? Okay, I didn't know it was going that fast. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Okay, so we've got the new website now, so it looks
cool.
fantastic.
I think it looks cool. You know, other tools is we're working on a lot of different apps. We have 2 different apps that we're working on. One called Skylab Apps, which is almost like an encased social media network, just for our group, and it all uses gamification and these different things to incent your downline to actually do processes, and it rewards them for doing, you know, certain activities. And as they do that, they get rewarded, and then those activities obviously lead to sales and leads to recruiting and that kind of thing. So we're working on that. We've got another app that we're working on as well. It's kind of a top secret one that we're still working on, but it's going to be very cool. We already just launched a new app in a lot of places that allows you to use your cell phone to send presentations and all the tools that you want, and you can buy product, you can sign people up, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if we have that in Australia yet, but we're working towards that.
I don't think we've got it in Australia yet, but I'm very keen to get hold of that app, and so we need to push the company in opening that for Australia.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. And then we're really pushing out hard into social media and providing a lot of tools for social media so that you can use those to recruit and train and teach and get new customers.
I know we live in an electronic age these days, but are the company producing any sort of PDFs that people can share in case people are old school and they want to just print off something and share with their friends? Is there anything like that?
Yes, there is. Almost all of the products have you know, PDFs and cut sheets and those kind of things that we can just email to people, and you can print them out and hand them to people. We have a lot of that in the US and in other areas, and so we're creating those all the time, you know. So we'll just try and work with Sarah and make sure we get you guys everything you need. So.
No worries. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to talk about the May promotions. So we just touched on it. The first one is that title bonus promo, which starts obviously 1st of May, yesterday, and it runs through to the 30th of June. So that's a cash incentive, so on rank advancement. So I'm just going to go through it, Shon, and if I'm made a mistake, you know, just butt in and tell me I'm wrong. But my understanding, the first level, if you achieve the rank of Coral Elite, and Coral Elite is someone that have sponsored 3 people that are corals, that have made a purchase of a case or 120 QV. So if someone who is a coral that's got 120 QV registers 3 people personally, they became a Coral Elite, and they will earn a $50 cash bonus. Jade, someone that has 3 corals and has a business of 40 cases, or what they call 4,800 QV, they become a Jade. They are entitled of a $200 cash reward bonus. A Pearl, someone that sponsored 3 Jades, $500 cash bonus, and a Diamond, $1,000 cash bonus. the correct, and we need to achieve those particular titles or those rank advancements in May or June. Correct, Shon?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the thing to remember, Morinda already pays 53% of every dollar, and so plus, obviously other bonuses and things that incentive trips, and so it's already a very lucrative plan. So you're going to get paid really well for getting to those titles, and so for these 2 months, we thought let's add more to incent people to get to the next title that they can, because obviously that unlocks more levels that they can earn from and more bonuses and things. And so plus we're going to throw in the extra cash if you do
I did hear one of the new executives that joined the company come from a very, very large network marketing company. And he said that Noni by NewAge pays out nearly double of what that company was paying. He was really surprised, especially with the way the marketing plans with dynamic impressions, how much we pay out compared with some other companies that pay out up to a certain amount, but in reality, it may only be half of that. And I heard a comment on YouTube about this.
Yep, that's absolutely true. I mean, it's the one thing that sometimes people don't realize is that for the same time and the same effort, you're going to earn more money here. And so you can work here and earn less money, or you can work here and make more money. And so Morinda's definitely that. And so we're adding a little bit extra to that just for these 2 months. So if you're going to make a run for a title, now is a really good time to do it, because you're going to get the extra money as well.
And another incentive, I pushed the company with this one, so thank you for that.
Yeah, that's a Tony push, man. We loved it.
Free registrations for the month of May. So anyone that signs up a new person, they must place an order of 60 QV. So that could be anything from 2 bottles or any product in the range that adds up to qualifying volume of 60 or above. They actually register for free. That's saving them $35. So if they just ordered 2 bottles and they had to pay $35, you're basically saving 35%. So because it's around about $100, that makes sense. So this promotion runs from the 1st to the 31st of May. So it's a great time to create momentum with everything that's happening right now with the company. On top of that, we're going to give you 3 registrations if you come in and join us and buy at least 2 bottles of Noni or any other product. Fantastic incentive. And this leads us to the South African events, the regional business in 2021. I know that you're very excited about this. You've been talking to the guys over there in South Africa, and this is going to be a huge event. I'm just going to play a very short 30-second. Yeah. Why should IPCs qualify to attend this event? Now, is it true that you have to actually qualify, at least as a Jade, to be able to attend this event? So it is a sort of a leadership event. Is this correct?
Yeah, right. It is a regional, what we call regional business summit. We typically hold these once a year in each region. But what we did is we combined Europe and the other regions together so that we could do one big one in Africa. And this is going to be, I think, the coolest event we probably have ever done. If you get a chance, you can check out the resort we're going to. It's called Sun City in South Africa. It's about 3 hours from the airport, and it's this gorgeous resort with 5 different hotels. It's got its own swim park, so you can lay out and you can swim. It's got restaurants and all kinds of amazing golf, everything you can think of. But you're out in the bush, and so what they're going to do is take us out in the morning, and we'll do a morning safari at like 4:30 in the morning, so you can see the animals waking up and driving around, and then we're going to do an evening one. There's hot air balloon safaris. There's we're going to have a whole bunch of really different fun things happening that I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there's some amazing things happening within this safari thing. So, and I know it says 4 days. I think we're actually going to end up at 5 days there because it is a long way to go for people, and we want to make sure that it's just a dramatic event, life-changing event. It is super cool. And so if we get time, check it out. It's called Sun City in South Africa. Just look it up, search it on Google.
The Lost Palace is where we're staying at, correct?
Yeah, that's where we'll be staying. There's 5 different hotels there, different accommodations, and we'll be doing a series of amazing safaris. We're planning kind of a really cool breakfast out in the middle of the Sahara with guys with guns standing around keeping the lions out. It's going to be an amazing place. We were going over the agenda just 2 days ago, and it was like, this is the trip of a lifetime.
I am really excited and looking forward to this trip. I really am. I've accomplished the first level, so I just want to encourage everybody that's on this call to really strive for this because it's going to be life-changing. It really is. I've been on many Morinda events before. I don't know how good they are, but this one seems really extra special. So the qualifying period is from January to the end of December in 2020. It's planned for around about March. Is that correct, Shon?
Yeah, we're actually, I think we're really zeroing in on the first week of May, and able to get it. So
no worries. Just
March
keep me up to date of the dates, and we can adjust accordingly. So what's the temperature like there in around about May? Is it?
It's actually very nice. You're kind of coming in between summer and it's very similar to Australia. So
so it's coming towards the winter then.
Timing. So should be more springish. Pretty nice weather. Not too cold, not too hot yet. So.
Yep. So you're saying that the registration is going to be about 5 days now rather than 4. So that's even extra bonus. Okay. Yeah. So the first incentive is for accommodation at this beautiful hotel for 4 days and 3 nights. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm already achieved that. And the next one is flights and the safari. And the third level is flights, accommodation, safari for 2 people. So that's what we should be striving for. Bring your partners along to this event because it's life-changing.
We may be announcing some additional benefits for people too as they continue to grow up the ladder here. We've got some really fun things we're going to add to it. So it's cool.
No worries. Now, come to the end of our presentation, Shon. So is there anything before we close that you'd just like to add to tonight's meeting? I've enjoyed every second. I've learned so much. It's been fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on the call. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close?
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on the call. It's so good to be with everybody. I can't wait to come back to Australia. And I was just there in Melbourne and Sydney right before this all happened. We literally got home the end of February, and I think about a week later, they started shutting everything down, at least here in the U.S. And so, but I'm anxious to get back. Love Australia, love the people, love the place, and we're going to invest heavily in Australia over the next few years. And we really believe in the market there, and great leaders like Tony and the others on this call tonight. And I'll tell you, Australia's really been doing well this last quarter. It's been leading the company in growth, and so the more we can do that, the more we can invest and the more we can grow and offer more and more opportunities. So thank you so much for the time tonight. Appreciate it.